When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. I've actually not read any books on time management. It's okay to have your eggs in one basket as long as you control what happens to that basket. The first step is to establish that something is possible. Then probability will occur. When Henry Ford made cheap, reliable cars, people said, "Nah, what's wrong with a horse?" That was a huge bet he made, and it worked. There's a tremendous bias against taking risks. Everyone is trying to optimize their ass covering. As much as possible, avoid hiring MBA. MBA programs don't teach people how to create companies. It's very important to like the people you work with, otherwise life and your job is gonna be quite miserable. Brand is just a perception, and perception will match reality over time. Sometimes it will be ahead, other times it will be behind. But brand is simply a collective impression some have about a product. Persistence is very important. You should not give up unless you are forced to give up. I don't create companies for the sake of creating companies, but to get things done. If you're trying to create a company, it's like baking a cake. You have to have all the ingredients in the right proportion. I always have optimism, but I'm realistic. It was not with the expectation of great success that I started Tesla or SpaceX. It's just that I thought they were important enough to do anyway. You have to say, well, why did it succeed where others did not? Starting and growing a business is as much about the innovation, drive, and determination of the people behind it as the product they sell. Failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough. Being an entrepreneur is like heating glass and staring into the abyss of death. Don't delude yourself into thinking something's working when it's not, or you're gonna get fixated on a bad solution. If you're co-founder or CEO, you have to do all kinds of tasks you might not want to do. If you don't do your chores, the company won't succeed and no task is too menial. Really pay attention to negative feedback and solicit it, particularly from friends. Hardly anyone does that, and it's incredibly helpful. We have a strict no assholes policy at SpaceX. I don't think it's a good idea to plan to sell a company. Talent is extremely important. It's like a sports team. The team that has the best individual player will often win, but then there's a multiplier from how those players work together and the strategy they employ. You shouldn't do things differently just because they're different. They need to be better. There have to be reasons that you get up in the morning and you want to live. Why do you want to live? What's the point? What inspires you? What do you love about the future? If the future does not include being out there among the stars and being a multi-planet species, I find that incredibly depressing. I always invest my own money in the companies that I create. I don't believe in the whole thing of just using other people's money. I don't think that's right. I'm not going to ask other people to invest in something if I'm not prepared to do so myself.